Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm out on another walk. And this time my walk has been a request by one of my viewers. Yes, he said, could you go and have a look around Goring, where I used to live, Goring Gap, and particularly an avenue of trees. So I'm going to start my walk here by, if I can bring the camera around, Goring Hall Hospital. I think it used to be a boys' school, and it's no longer a boys' school, but it's all there, it's all sort of private, so I can't go taking my camera in, not least because many cars have been going around wondering what the hell I'm up to. But the actual place that I'm particularly interested in is this avenue here. It's public, you can see from that sign, a public right of way, and I'm going to take a stroll along it now. This is Ilex Way, well, it's Ilex Way that way, and this is, I think, Ilex Avenue this way. And as you can see, it is a broad avenue of trees. These are Ilex trees. Now, I think Ilex is Latin, and I don't know the first part of the Latin. It begins with a Q, but I haven't a blooming clue what that is. But in English, as far as I understand it, they are Holm Oaks. Now that's different from your traditional oaks, and actually, as I'm walking along, you can probably see why. Let's have a little look at them over here. Different leaves, for one thing, than an oak tree, and the nature of these trees, that they splay out from the bottom like the traditional oak tree, which is much stronger, a bigger trunk, and then sort of splays out in a very iconic shape. But these, very different, very pleasant. Now, I should say Goring, where I'm walking, and I'm walking towards Ferring. Both Goring and Ferring are down by the coast on the south of England in West Sussex, and just beyond me over here, on the other side of the trees, is the seaside. You can't really see it today. I happen to have picked a rather miserable day to come out and do this, so apologies for that. Here's a particularly interesting one that's been chopped down a bit. I guess they do get to some great height. And here, oh look, as luck would have it, the Ilex Avenue. Some information with a picture of Goring Hall. Oh yeah, and the beautiful iron gates. Let's carry on. So these go about a mile in length, this avenue, and at each end, the Ferring end and the Goring end, from what I gather, there was some wrought iron gates, some very sort of ornamental gates. But in 1940, when the war was on and metal was required, they were confiscated and I guess melted down to make possibly Spitfires. Oh no, wait a minute, they were all made out of aluminium, weren't they? But anyway, they probably went to make bullets, I guess. Well, it is a very peaceful and lovely avenue to stroll down, and in fact, of course, dog walkers all over the place bring their dogs to this stretch because A, they know it's a mile long, and B, it's in a straight and flat, and it is very lovely. Now, if I'm going to just make my way actually outside of the avenue, just so I can A, get a bit more light on the matter, and B, show you the countryside around, and to just walk on the edge of this farmer's field here. So these trees, just get myself, a lot of acorns actually are falling from them, so they do bear fruit in the same way that an ordinary oak, here we go, look, in the way that an ordinary oak does. They were planted by the Lion family in the sort of early Victorian period, and they were based at Goring Hall, which I think was a private house and then a school and is now the hospital. And in a way, the idea I think behind this was to prevent urban sprawl. I may not be 100% right there, but you have this gap. It's quite a lovely pronounced gap, between Goring that way and Ferring this way. And Ferring, a nice old fishing village, I'm guessing back in its time. Again, urban sprawl and expansion a little bit in the Victorian period, but mostly in the 30s, I think. There's another sign here. Let's have a look, see what this says. It's an identical one. And it reminds me, just looking at that actually this great avenue of trees, these Holm Oaks, are from the Mediterranean. So they've done remarkably well in our Worthing seaside climate, I have to say, because you've got the sea coming, the winds rather, coming off the seafront here. And you can see behind me on this side, there's a little squirrel just going up the tree there. I don't know if you can, you probably can't see it. It's just nipped round the back. I was going to say the houses border onto this avenue. So actually the sprawl is going across. So looks like they were thwarted. Just sneaking up here, there's another little squirrel. I don't think I can get anywhere close to them. He's nipped up in the tree. He's nipped up there, and unfortunately this is a wide angle lens, and so I can't really get up there. Let's just take another little walk into here and just have another view. So we're nearly into Ferring. Ferring carries on that way, Goring is back this way, and behind me, as you can see, the houses. And if I then take a bit more of a walk here, there's a bridle path that actually goes around the farmer's field that I was just in and down to the coast. It's a bit of a muddy trek, but I'm just going to go and make my way down to the beach to finish the video. Well, I've made it down to the beach, and here in the distance is the sea. And even in October, there's plenty of people, well, you can't see them now, but there are plenty of people walking their dogs out and about, and some coming down to the beach. The sea is looking a little grey, just like the sky at the moment. But on the beach here, I'm between now, well, Goring, but more importantly, Worthing. When I say more importantly, I just mean it's more strategically known. And then Ferring and Littlehampton that way. And the beach down here is, as you can see, mostly shingle with a little bit of sand that comes up. And one of the problems that we've always had in Worthing and along this whole stretch is seaweed. Oh, and how the seaweed, I ruined that, didn't I? Oh, how the seaweed. It's interesting. Here on the beach you can still find lumps of coal. This is sea coal. When I say it's sea coal, it's not coal that's just washed in from the sea from deposits of coal, natural coal. What I actually mean is this is coal that's been in the sea a long time but have fallen from cargoes of boats that may have been carrying coal and have sunk. And you can still get big chunks like this. Now, they're not brilliant on the fire because I've tried it at home and they don't work terribly well. But there is quite a lot of it here. Here's some more, look. Ships carrying that, wrecked, stuff falling off overboard, possibly purposefully by people who would then come and collect it, you know, sabotaged as it were, who knows. But yes, you'll notice that as I handle this coal, where it's been in the salt water, It's almost cleaned it. I don't get the black on the coal anymore. Well, a short little video today. I wasn't sure what the weather was doing. The forecast was grim. This time of year, I will try and get out, but I can't promise to get out every day, mostly because sometimes it's wet and horrible. And as I look up, there's actually blue sky. So how do you plan? I will go further afield. I'm sorry that they're a bit localized down on the south coast a lot. Just get away from the sea because it's quite noisy. I'll do my best to get out and explore more places. If you've got suggestions, then do by all means let me know. Always good to hear from you. I want to get back into some of the villages and some of the smaller towns of this wonderful country, England, and maybe one day up to Scotland and perhaps more in Wales. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment and all those sort of things. And I will see you on the next time. Don't forget to check out my Patreon if you want to support me and make more of these videos possible. And I thank my sponsors today, who have been fantastic in sponsoring the videos that I make. Until the next time, goodbye.